So aside from that, though, right? So we talked about your favorite round, but like who stood out to you in general, whether it be an individual, whether it be a team, like who stood out, right? And anyway, so whether or not they had your favorite round, like what just really just shined through the screen.
Oh, like definitely like the Foxes, like TPG, like we don't have them from
Mm-hmm.
like where I'm from. Like I always knew like I've always like heard about Five Sigma Kai and like Shazam with them. Like I already know they're good. Like I already had high expectations, but like
Mm-hmm.
TPG, like they surprised me. Like their first stroll to tap in was,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I was, cause like I forgot to mention this in the last question, but another like aspect of strolling that I highly like respect is that is musicality. Because strolling, like you don't really kind of, some people like stroll, like have a certain stroll to like any kind of song, but
Yeah.
for in their case, man, like the like all of their strolls were pretty, they had like a lot of musicality, and it was really good. I enjoyed all of their rounds, and like I said, energy, like charisma, like musicality, those, it was definitely, it was I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, yeah, and it's interesting because obviously we get all of the submissions beforehand, right? It's different from like regular competition where you may hear the music if you're on the back end and you're organizing it, but to be able to see the whole performance before the public does, like that was interesting. So as we're going through the footage, making sure everything is
Jesus.
is nice and tight, and then we watch TBGs, and then we get to Zeta Phi Beta's last round, and we're just like, same song. That was
Oh,
like
oh
okay.
yeah. Oh man, yikes. Yeah, 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 yeah.
That was an interesting one. Like, how would you describe like that experience? Like you're watching these rounds and you're going through everything, and then you hear the same song at the end. Like what were the thoughts that are running through your mind? Like how did you receive the round? Like did you once you heard the song, were you like kind of looking at it through a different lens? Were you able to like put it aside? Like how did you receive that experience? Like watching that live?
Yeah, I did my best, obviously, not to compare like two different performances of the same song, because like even if it's the same song, in a sense, like they still convey like a different message, a different vibe.
Yeah.
So like I had to be impartial, but yeah, I did. Yeah, I forgot. Like I did peep that, but
Mhm.
I had to like make sure that
Yeah.
it was good.
Facts. So like even with that, right? So we talked about we talked about the favorite rounds and everything. We talked about what stood out, but like beyond the who, right, and the what, like with regards to the music, like what stood out to you? Because I know you said the musicality is important to you. So like music wise, what really stood out to you?
I mean, other than the fact that Finesse did one to Taylor Swift, I guess I was glad that they, lots of people use different genres in rounds. Like obviously, we're like I'm aware up north, like Jersey club mixes are like the thing, the norm there. But down here we don't hear it as much. So when I do, and like I see the like the energy with it, it's, man, it makes my knees hurt. And and I'm known for high energy, and I'm like, oh man, that's tough. That's
Yeah.
tough.
Let me tell you something from
Bro, like
experience.
y'all are just built different up there, man.
Jersey. Jersey. But you know what, right? So I'm actually happy you mentioned that. So with regards, so we talked about the musicality, but like with regards to the different styles, right, and like how everybody performs and everything, right? So for those who aren't familiar, right, let them know where you're from.
Oh, I'm from Georgia, so like
Right.
our region, at least in SLB's, dubbed the Southeast region, so around there, like Georgia, Florida, and all that.
Mm-hmm. So like with regards to that, so now you having that kind of southern perspective, and now at least for you, you were already familiar with the East Coast, to a degree, so you kind of knew what to expect a little bit. We mentioned New Era. For those of you who aren't familiar with New Era Stroll Team, look them up. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Right, New Era. When I first crossed, they were like, I'm not even gassing. They were definitely like an inspiration to myself. To a lot of my bros, you really watched them, and they were like the high standard when they came to like
Yep,
watching and learning how to stroll. And I think that's for several people, honestly.
yep. Even us down here.
Yeah. So it's like with regards to like just the Northeast in general, and then obviously we had a West Coast team. Like, how would you describe the way that you felt, watching these different styles, play out throughout this competition?
Oh no, I love it. Like I love the variety, like that, like the diversity. It's really good. It's really good. Yeah, I was like, I expected it because like most of it's like obviously like up north and stuff, but like
Mm-hmm.
it was I was like pleasantly surprised. Like obviously R&B, hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
Latin, and like Jersey. It's like uh, it's good. It's good. It definitely like keeps like uh competitions like fresh, because nobody wants to like watch or even judge a competition where they use like the same songs. And trust me, I've judged competitions like that, so it was definitely a much needed breath of fresh air.
So it's interesting because we actually didn't ask that in the beginning. So you judged comps before, right? So how many off the top of your head? Do you know off the top of your head?
Not. Let me see. Um, 3 or 4, but like actually all of them are just like within my school, really.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. So like, um, how would you describe the experience, like watching the organizations from your school perform, right, stylistically, compared to watching people from the East, people from the West? Like, how is that? Like, what was the juxtaposition like in terms of like your viewing experience? Like, is it usually higher intensity down there versus up here? It's higher tempo. Like, how would you describe the differences?
Oh, definitely like up north, definitely like higher tempo. I want to say like north and like I guess in my case south, like it's I want to say we have like the same intensities, but yeah, like definitely like different tempos, like different ways of hitting it, which is like all good, obviously.
Yeah,
But I guess the biggest difference, yeah, is just the style, once like like the genre, but also like the style and like how they choose to hit
yeah,
like songs and stuff, and like how they like choose to, I guess, like internalize it. Like it
yeah,
all comes out of musicality again,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
it's different, but it's a good different.